and welcome. So here's the situation. It is now at, I don't know, about 11:30. I have guests coming at 12. And what can I do to make an appetizer very, very quick, but very, very awesome? And I think that the perfect answer is a cheese board. And you don't even have to have anything super fancy. You can go into the refrigerator and just find any little last bits of cheese you might have, raid the pantry and find any kind of nuts, crackers, anything you might have there, fruits, anything you can find, and we can put something really spectacular together, and we'll do this together now. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna put 3 cheeses on the board because I think that more isn't always better. And 3 is really good, and I like to think of it as going from mild to wild. So I'm gonna start with a beautiful brie. So if you can see this Brie's a classic. I mean, almost everybody loves a brie. And what you see on the outside there is a bloomy rind. And the question that always comes up is, can you eat that? And the answer is absolutely, you want to eat that. It's got a real different flavor than what you see on the center. So this brie, because it's really firm, you can tell that it's really young. So that's a really good tip. The squishier it is, the older it is, and the stronger it is. So rather than just plunk this whole wedge on the board, what I'm gonna do is cut it into kind of thirds. So here we go, and I'm gonna put it on the center of the board. And I'm just gonna kind of stack them really different. And I think that kind of makes a neat display, just kind of give it some elevation. Now I'm gonna go to a cheddar. Cheddar's awesome, and you can see this is a random bit I just pulled out of the drawer, but we're not going to let it go to waste because it's delicious. So instead of just cutting it into a cube, something like that, I'm gonna cut it into kind of like rock candy-like chunks, just taking the tip of my knife. I'm just gonna bust it up, random chunks. I like the look of it, and I like the mouthfeel of it. It's just different than a slice of cheese. Kind of makes it really cool looking. So I've got my little rock pile of cheddar, and I'm gonna put this right here on the board. But now I wanna get something wild on the plate. You may or may not be a fan of flavored cheeses, but this one cannot go wrong with. And if you can see right there, this is an Italian cheese. It's called Boschetto, and it has little bits of white truffle shavings in it. And if you don't know what the truffle is, truffles are known as the diamonds of the earth, and they are spectacular. Really earthy, really mushroomy, sometimes garlicky. That's gonna get that powerful pack of flavor that the brie doesn't have, and then the cheddar just gives you that more traditional flavor. Oh god, I wish somebody at Periscope would invent smell-o-vision, because this is awesome. All right, I'm gonna lay these on the board, kind of in a little pretty fan, kind of like this. Okay. So now I've got my 3 big elements on the board. Now I'm gonna add salumi, because who doesn't love salumi? Happen to have this little bit left. This is also a truffled salumi. You can see the bit of truffle in there. Awesome. Here's a little hint. Salumis have the casing on the outside, and you don't want to eat that kind of chewy. You're not going to get sick or anything, but who wants to eat that flavor? So the way to get that off really easy is to score all around the chub like this, and then slice a little T kind of on that, if you've got a sharper knife than I do. Peel back the casing, and you'll see that it just kind of comes off in a nice little strip, just like that. So now you're ready to slice and dice. So I'm just gonna cut this into nice little slivers, because everybody likes a little salami, whatever you prefer to say. And again, if you could just smell this, I think you would just die. So good. So I'm gonna pair my truffles with truffle cheese, because it makes sense, right? It goes together. So I'm just gonna create a little pile, a salami tower right there with my truffles. Now what are we gonna do? Brie. Good, but kind of plain on its own. So I went into my jelly jam drawer, and I found lingonberries, because they're bright red for one thing, which is beautiful, and they're freaking delicious for another thing. You could always smear it on the board if you want, and whatever look you prefer, and put it in a little jar like that, so that we've got something to go with that creamy, dreamy brie. The cheddar, the rock pile looks cool, but I just want to add blueberries that I had in the fridge, and I'm just going to add that to my little rock pile. Just kind of sprinkle them about. Why fruit? Fruit is really sweet, and that is the complete opposite of cheese that's usually really salty. I also adore nuts and a little crunch. Again, that's to give that mouthfeel and to make things contrasting on the plate. So I also have these pine nuts in their pantry, and I'm going to add that to my little rock pile. There we go. Baguette or crackers, totally personal preference, because my guests will be here in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna go with crackers, because I can just lay those on the board super easy. And if you guys have never tried these, they're called Rain Coast Crisps. It's got seeds, nuts, dried fruit, everything in it. again, complimentary with the cheese. It's a spectacular thing. So I've got 3 great cheeses, 3 different textures, happen to be 3 countries. I've got France, Italy, and where are you from today? Oh, English cheddar. If you want to spruce it up, you know, try to make it pretty, be artsy, you know, I've got little sprigs of thyme. I'm gonna put that on the brie because the brie's so white and plain looking. There. Okay, so there, you guys, is a simple little cheese board that you can make on the fly with bits in your fridge, anything you find in the pantry, and your guests are gonna love it and they're gonna say that you are spectacular. And I agree, it's delicious. Thank you for watching. Ciao.